can keep on filling the equity part. Okay, because I want to finish up the P&L. Okay, let's look at the P&L. Go to your P&L here. Okay, your P&L here, you got one more part because after you have completed your total comprehensive income, right? You got one more part here that you need to do for the group P&L. Okay, so the part here is on the whiteboard. So what you need to do is your total profit of the group 10950. You have to allocate it to NCI, to parent company. Okay, and then your total comprehensive income calculated for the whole group, you have to allocate to NCI and to the parent company. Okay, so how do we calculate? Okay, we need the financial statement. Let's go to the financial statement. Okay, we need this one. Yeah, I hope you all can see. Okay, what we need to do in lecture I mentioned is start from NCI first. Okay, your starting point, where to get the number, where to get the figure, what are we calculating? Profit. Okay, so go to the P&L and go to Bangkok and look at Bangkok's profit for the year is how much? 3.9 million. So that will be your starting point. Okay, so Bangkok's profit for the year how much? 3.9 million. We start with that. 3.9 million. Okay, the group, how many months they operate and earn from this profit? How many months? 4. So you have to times 4 over 12. Okay. Next, you have to minus upstream sales from the unrealized profit. So can you see now? Your upstream sales, you have to adjust the NCI profit in your group P&L. So the unrealized profit is how much? 400K. Okay? And then anything else do we need to adjust? Got anything else now? Remember, you have a depreciation, right? So what happens if you reduce your depreciation? What happens to your profit? Your profit will go up. So you have to plus 50,000. So this 50,000 is from the reduction of depreciation, and then the whole formula. This whole formula only times by 20% because non-controlling interest is 20%. Okay. So it's not as so direct as your lecture will be. What you need to do is take Bangkok's profit, but we only want 4 months. Okay, minus 400K. This is the unrealized profit from the upstream sales. Then you need to adjust for NCI. Okay, and then one more adjustment is your depreciation. Your depreciation goes down, it will affect your profit, so it will increase the profit. That's why you plus 50%. Everything times by 20%. Okay, so because we are running out of time, I will give you the answer. The answer is 190. So if you put in your calculator, punch it correctly, you will get 190. Okay, and then after that, parent, just find the remaining difference. So that will be 1076. Okay, let's do the total comprehensive income. Okay, so total comprehensive income we know is profit plus OCI, right? Okay, so we always start with non-controlling interest. Okay, so your profit we already calculated from on top 190. Okay, this from here 190. So now we want to see the OCI. So OCI, you just go back to Bangkok. Okay, go back to Bangkok, you check the other comprehensive income. Does Bangkok has other comprehensive income? It says nil, right? It says 0, right? So it means that actually is 0 times 20% because NCI is 20. So 0 times 20% is 0. 0 plus 190, the NCI total comprehensive income is 190. If there is a figure here, then it will not be 0 lah. You will have to times by 20%. Okay? And then you just find the difference. 11750 minus 190. And you will get 11560. Okay, so this one it will complete your group profit and loss. Okay, so this working scale later on, student, if you want, you can just put it inside the worksheet. So continue down from below. Okay. Any question? How to calculate the NCI profit? So you are clear? Always start off with Bangkok one, the subsidies. If you are calculating profit, you go and look for subsidies profit. Okay. And then don't forget you have to see whether the profit, how many months they earn as a group, and then you have to minus the upstream sales. So this part is upstream sales, and then this part here is any transaction that affects your profit. You have to adjust here as well. Okay, and then the bottom part is easier because bottom part you just take the profit plus, then you go and find the other comprehensive income. If you don't have, means 0. 0 times 20%, and then it will become 180 as well. Okay, so you all clear? Good. Okay, now we left last two part, which is the working number 3. Okay, so I'm going to show you working number 3, and then after that I'm going to show you working number 4. Okay, you all don't copy first. I'm just going to explain, and then later on I will show you the answer. If you want, you can take a picture. Okay, that will be faster also. For group retained earnings, I usually tell students, don't go and copy this retained earnings, and put it inside your worksheet because it's not correct. Because this one is as at 30th September and has not been adjusted yet. Okay. So now what are we going to do now? We are going to do the group retained earnings. You want to adjust it. Okay, how do we adjust? Okay, for usually I will tell students to do it in a table. You always start with the figure as at the balance sheet. So the balance sheet is this one, right? 12.3, and then Bangkok's figure 4.5. Okay, this figure is not correct because still not adjusted yet. Okay, then only you have to adjust Bangkok's one because Bangkok got a few things happening here. So first adjustment you need to do is we do not want all the pre-acquisition retained earnings because this one is the whole total retained earnings, right? Minus out the pre-acquisition retained earnings. So 3.2 million. Take it up. Okay? And then after that, whatever items that affects the profit will affect your retained earnings. Just take note that this 4.5 has not been taken into account. This depreciation has not taken into account those unrealized profit yet. So we know that our depreciation decrease. What happens? It will increase our profit. It will increase our retained earnings. Okay. And then this one, remember, we got unrealized profit, right? So we have to remove out the unrealized profit, 400K. So at the end, your Bangkok's or subsea retained earning after all the adjustment is 950. This is the one that we want for our group financial statement. Okay? And then don't forget this 950, the Penang only earn 80%. So you have to times by 80. And then you plus. So this is parent figure plus subsea figure. This will be your total group figure. So this one 13060 will be transferred into your worksheet. Okay, so you can take a picture of this working. to tell you all these working 2, working 3, working 4 are very, very important in exam. You have to calculate it because if you don't show working 2, you don't show working 3, you don't show working 4, you just report the final figure in the worksheet, right? And then if your final figure wrong, what happens? I cannot give you the marks. So let's say your goodwill or your retained earnings you calculate wrongly. If you calculate wrongly, I can go back to working 3 and then I can still give you marks like this one, like 0.5. Can still give you some marks, maybe here 0.5, 0.5. Okay? So if you don't do the working, you will lose the whole total marks. But if you do the working, you will still get some marks here and there. Okay? Last one. Okay, last one also, let me explain first, and then I will show it to you. Don't need to copy. This one is your P and L. Console P and L. Earlier on you did already. So what we want is this one, the NCI. Okay. So for NCI, we calculated on 1st June. Remember, 1/7 for our goodwill calculation. The NCI is worth 3.5 million. Correct? This one, if you can remember last week. But don't forget, we want our non-controlling interest as at 30th September 2017. So during that period, there's transaction happening. So what is the transaction that happens is when you do your P&L, you calculate the total comprehensive income for your non-controlling interest, correct? You will calculate that, right? So this figure here, what must you do is you have to add it together and it will become your total non-controlling interest 3690 as at 30th September. So you always take the total comprehensive income. Why? Because profit plus OCI, that will be the full figure for your non-controlling interest. Okay, so you add up together, that will be 3690. So that 3690, put it inside the worksheet. So your working is this one, this one. Okay, then let me go back to the worksheet, last one to the worksheet. Okay, let me go back to the file. Okay, so later on, you all have to fill up this part here, which is on the whiteboard. And then let's go to your worksheet here. Okay, so goodwill here, you can see that you put the total figure 9.3. Where you have calculated, you put the total figure. And then you can see here, retained earnings. So the retained earnings just now, just put in the total figure. Same as non-controlling interest, put in the total figure. Okay, so now I'm going to tell you how do I mark in final exam. Maybe just use balance sheet. Okay, how do I mark this? I always mark per entry inside the worksheet. So for example, okay, this one cannot draw. Let me show you. Okay, this is the worksheet. Okay, how do I mark? So let me just take, for example, equity. Yeah. So how do I mark? Is I mark per entry. So mark if your parent figure is correct, 0.5. Your Bangkok figure is correct, 0.5. And then this debit is correct, 0.5, 0.5. So let's say if all is correct, straight away I will give you how many marks? 2 marks here. So let's say your total group figure is wrong. Maybe you make mistake somewhere, but your parent subsidy figure is correct. You will still get marks for your parent and your subsidy figure. So later on in exam briefing, I will give you the final tip on how to score for also question, even though you do not fill up your debit and credit column. Okay? And then for this part here, can you see here? This is retained earnings, right? This is a total figure, right? So let's say you get wrong. If you don't show me working tree, you will straight away get 0 already. But if you show me working tree, I will go back to the table and just now I give you some marks here and there, right? 0.5, 0.5. So same as NCI also. If this one, let's say, is wrong, then I will go back to working for and then give you some marks. So everything is per entry basis. So usually it's 0.5. So like that, okay? And I don't give marks for this one. No marks for balancing figure because most of the time students do not balance their financial statement. So here also no marks. Okay, so that's it for consolidation ready. So we already finished everything already. But today's tutorial is like quite a few things you have to go through. So what I advise all of you is go back, redo the worksheet again. Okay, so fill up from beginning all the way to the end, and then also try to know how to calculate working 1, working 2, working 3, and working 4.
我是觉得，因为排内地的出，最重要，自学可能有。